Hello everyone. Let us now discuss how can we solve this problem. Count operations to obtain 0. So we are given with two integers num1 and num2, so it is an easy problem. However, so in one operation, if num1 is greater than num2, so subtract num2 from num1. Nothing but num1 is equal to num1 minus num2. Otherwise, we'll do num1, we'll remove num1 from num2. Nothing but num2 is equal to num2 minus num1. Now, for example, num1 is equal to 5 and num2 is equal to 4. Subtract num2 from num1, thus obtaining num1 is equal to 1 and num2 is equal to 4. However, if num1 is equal to 4 and num2 is equal to 5, after one operation num1 is equal to 4 and num2 is equal to 1. So return the number of operations required to make either, they said not both of them, but either num1 is equal to 0 or num2 is equal to 0. So we need to make either num1 is equal to 0 or num2 is equal to 0. Let's go to the concepts. They are given that num1 and num2 can go till 10 power 5. Now, num1 is equal to 10 and num2 is equal to 10. Let's go with this. So, operation 1, num1 is equal to 10, num2 is equal to 10. Since num1 is equal to num2, so if num1 is greater than or equal to num2, we'll just do subtract num2 from num1 and get num1 is equal to 0. That's it. Now, num1 is equal to 2 and num2 is equal to 3. So we remove 2 from 3 and get num2 is equal to 1 and num1 is equal to 2. Then 2 and 1 we will remove num2 from num1 and get here num1 will be 1 and num2 will be 1. So both are same. So we will just make num1 as 0. So the number of operations are 3. So that's how you solve this problem. I'll tell you how we can solve this. Firstly, we run a loop. We run a loop while both of them, nothing but num1 and num2 are greater than 0. So both of them should be greater than 0, right? So then only we'll run the loop. Now, if num1 is greater than or equal to num2, then num1 minus is equal to num2. Else, what we will do? Nothing but num2 is greater. Now, num2 minus is equal to num1. And we need to initialize answer is equal to 0 and increment the answer here. At the last, return the answer. So this is how you solve this problem. And if you see what's the time complexity, uh, thanks for watching this video. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.